Welcome to another edition of AIGP News. I'm Steve Sanders. In this week's top news story, President Obama went to Afghanistan to visit the troops, to assure these troops that America has not forgotten about them during this holiday season, prompting Americans to ask, where is Afghanistan and why do we have troops over there? Military top generals have asked Congress not to lift the gay ban on the military, saying they do not want their tanks painted purple. Congress is set to vote on the gay ban, which is known as Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and they are also set to vote on whether or not to allow military uniforms to have half shirts and rhinestones. WikiLeaks are fighting to stay online, with a lot of governments issuing warrants for them. The controversial website made headlines by telling people that their governments were lying to them, something most people already knew. WikiLeaks has changed their website name, their location, and are reportedly on the run and in hiding. Governments have organized the largest manhunt since Jack Kimball killed his wife. European planes have been helping Israelis put out a fire in northern Israel. This fire was reportedly caused after a menorah was left burning. The fire in northern Israel has ravaged the forests and left 41 people dead and thousands displaced. This is the worst tragedy in Israeli history since yesterday. A Canadian man was arrested this week for shooting another man with a crossbow, proving you don't need guns to kill people. The Canadian people were outraged by this event, saying it's the worst crime in Canadian history since someone robbed the liquor store. Cubs legendary standout Ron Santos died this week. He reportedly died of shock after the Cubs said their goal this year was to win the World Series. Ron Santos was a legendary third baseman for the Cubs, who will be remembered fondly by Cubs fans everywhere. His only regret? Never being able to play for a professional baseball team. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton has urged Iran to join in nuclear regulation talks this week, saying that with nuclear power comes great responsibility, much like with spider powers. Mrs. Clinton warned Iran that not attending could lead to tariffs and isolation. Iran said they weren't worried because, unlike America, they don't buy everything from China. It's a special segment we've been working on here at AIGP News, just for you. It is a new segment we call Cooking with Socky the Sock Puppet. Take it away, Socky.
Hello people, I'm Socky the Sock Puppet, and today I'm going to teach you how to cook. Now, I'm going to start with one of the most basic recipes there is, and that is scrambled eggs. See, we got some eggs here, and we got a bowl. Now let's go into how to scramble eggs. First, you take a bowl, like this, and you get some eggs. We got eggs right here. Now you take one of these eggs and you're going to want to crack it and put it in a bowl, like so. Now that we got the eggs in the bowl, you're going to need something to whisk the eggs with. You can use a whisk, but I, as Socky the Sock Puppet, I prefer a fork, because it's simple and you normally have more than one laying around. So you don't have to go out and buy a whisk. You can just use a fork like I do. Now whisking is pretty much just beating the egg and making it a uniform color and texture. So we're going to take our fork and we're going to whisk now. Now as you can see, the eggs are now a uniform texture and color, so you're ready to cook the eggs. But before we cook, we have to do some prep work. We have to take our pan and we need something to keep the eggs from sticking. I use non-stick cooking spray. You can use whatever you like, including vegetable oil, if you want, lard, or whatever you want to cook in it. I choose non-stick cooking spray because it doesn't really affect the taste of the eggs. So you can have the natural taste of eggs in a non-stick form. Now let's spray the pan. That's good enough. Now we just gotta move over to the stove and start cooking our eggs. Now we gotta turn the stove on. I recommend turning it to about a medium heat. It's on medium heat now. Now it's very simple what we gotta do. Just pour in our eggs. Now this is where you season your eggs. You season the eggs to flavor. So it depends on what you want your eggs to taste like, how you season them. You can add bourbon, onions, anything you like. Me, I just add some salt and some pepper. There we go. The eggs are seasoned. Now we'll wait a few minutes and I'll show you why they call it scrambled eggs. Now, to give scrambled eggs that scrambled look, which makes them scrambled eggs, you need to go over them with a spatula and constantly be moving the eggs so that they will get that scrambled look. Now we have our spatula right here. Now we'll just go back and forth over the eggs. This also helps to cook them faster and to give them that unique scrambled eggs taste. Now you're asking me, Socky, how do I know when my eggs are done? Well, that's a very good question. Eggs are very temperamental. It's hard to tell exactly when they're done and exactly when they're not, but you have to make sure to cook eggs till they're done. But you don't want to burn them. So you want to look for a uniform color, a nice yellowing color. You also want to make sure they're not burnt. You want to make sure they're solid pieces, but not overly solid, but not runny. You don't want your eggs to be runny because then they're not done. What you want to do is you want to just make sure they're nice, solid, uniform, yellow color. And then, more than likely, they'll be done. Now our eggs are done. Just put them on a plate and serve. That's how you cook scrambled eggs. Thank you for watching. Now back to Steve Sanders in the studio.
Thank you, Socky. That was very interesting and something I will truly never forget. Now for celebrity news. Actor Jaish Duhamel was thrown off a plane this week for refusing to stop texting. His agent has said he will go to rehab for text addiction. Many famous celebrity tweeters will reportedly not return to Twitter until $1 million have been raised for children with AIDS. Only $100,000 has been raised so far, meaning they will not return to Twitter. giving us all something to celebrate this holiday season. Halle Berry's ex, Gabriel Aubrey, is reportedly dating Kim Kardashian. When asked why, he said he heard she's a good lay. Now here is Big R in another senseless rant that none of us will understand. Fool? What you talking about, fool? I'm a Big R, you make perfect sense. Big R makes sense, fool. Don't make me bust a cap in your ass, fool. Getting tired of your shit. I'm gonna bust a cap in your ass and end this thing. Now my peeps, my niggas, Big R here to talk to you. Big R here to tell you about the holiday season. Yes, he is. You see, Big R, he like the holiday season. He like it because it's time when we're all a little happier, when we're all a little nicer, when we're all a little better to each other. Because that's what the holiday season is. The holiday season ain't about presents. It ain't about family get-togethers. It ain't about the turkey or the stuffing or the ham or anything like that. Holiday season about helping one another. That's what Big R is to tell you about. You gotta go out there now in the holiday season and you gotta go help somebody. You gotta go give a hand to somebody. Yeah, Big R know what you thinking. My niggas, you thinking, nah, Big R, this fool don't know what he's talking about. But this fool does. This fool knows that you gotta do this. You see, Big R, he likes to help people. And he knows that people need a lot of help around holidays. So Big R went to the store and he bought a bunch of Sean Johns and he bought a bunch of Pumas. And he get these clothes together and he give them to people. He donated these clothes to clothes drives and coat drives and everything else. Because even the poor, even them, even my streets, even my peeps on the streets need to look styling. Big R know this, and you should do the same thing. You should go out and buy your Sean Johns and your Pumas. And you should donate them to the people who can't afford no coats. You know what Big R also do? Big R also go out to the Walmart and Big R bought a bunch of toys. And Big R went door to door to his neighbors getting some toys. And Big R donated these toys to the local toy drive. Yes, he did. That way all the kids could have toys on Christmas morning. Yep, Big R do that. Big R also on Christmas Day, Big R is planning to go to Soup Kitchen and ladle out some soup. Yes, Big R is. See, and that's what you should be doing, my peeps. My niggas, you should be out there helping the poor, helping the hungry, helping all less fortunate around this time of year. Because we all need some help. We all do. We all need help. So you should go out and do it. Just like Big R is doing, you need to go out and you need to help. You need to help somebody. Give them a sandwich. Give them a coat. Give them a new pair of shoes. Give them a toy. Go out and give them a smile. Give them a song. Give them what they need. Because that's what Big R says you need to do, America. Because that's what we should do during this holiday season. Forget about us. Forget about the presents. Go out there and give them a sandwich. Everybody can afford to give out one sandwich. Everybody can afford to give $1 to the Salvation Army. So go out and do it. Let's all smile a little brighter. And let's all give out some sandwiches. Let's all give out some coats. Let's all give out some toys. Let's all go out and help one another. And that's what Big R's telling you, America. This is the season for helping, and this is the season you help. Because that's what we need to do. And that'll make this world a better place. And that's all Big R got to say about that. So back to that fool in the studio. Now here are this week's football scores. Well, that's all the time we have for this week. I'm Steve Sanders, signing off.